not on Sully's list of approved sources, so I went off-grid and contacted him through Chatternet. Here he is, talking about his only encounter with John.
The kid was a freak.
Can you be more specific?
Yeah, I'd be happy to. You know, me and a bunch of guys were sparring in the gym.
God, he's amazing.
Young kid there. I mean, I guess you could call him a kid. He was pretty jacked, you know, but his face looked 12, maybe 13.
12 or 13? After enlisting, John didn't even finish boot camp until at least 17. Petrovsky had to be wrong about his age, but I let it go.
Anyway, I guess he was acting tough when one of the guys asked his name. He told him, but he kind of, you know, gave him attitude, right? So people start mouthing off. Next thing I know, CPO orders the kid and 4 of the guys into the ring because they were supposed to fight him.
Hold on, Anthony. Wait, you're telling me that the CPO ordered 4 soldiers to fight a high school kid?
No, a 12 or 13-year-old, like I said.
Yeah, fine. Either way, the CPO ordered 4 ODSTs to fight a kid.
You got it all wrong, okay? Because those 4 ODSTs were like lambs to the slaughter.
What, John outfought them?
No. It was way worse.
As he tells it, the ODSTs did as they were ordered.
Understatements.
They surrounded John, and one of them swung.
This scene is incredibly graphic in the book.
Yeah, this is a nice version of it.
The sound this kid's fist made, it sounded awful. Because they weren't like punches, they were like rapid fire explosions. Okay, I was across the gym, but I heard it. It was sick. Like meaty cracks in a drum roll. Just
One of the ODSTs sustained a single body blow that instantly stopped his heart, killing him. Another trooper only took 1 shot from John as well. A punch that caved in the man's face. 2 fatalities, 1 ODST with a cracked pelvis and 1 with a shattered spine. That guy never walked again. No one had to break up the fight. It was over in less than 5 seconds. Wait, he killed them?
What he did was impossible.
What do you mean impossible? Like how?
Like not human, all right? Like he was genetically augmented.
So you're telling me that someone had augmented
I love that
John.
they dropped
Someone had
augment.
genetically augmented a child.
Augmentations.
No?
You think I'm lying?
I believe that's what you honestly think you saw, but...
Look, here's the thing, Ben. I don't care if you believe me or not. This makes no difference in my world. I was there and you were somewhere else. So, you're gonna go write your little military cheerleader article, and I'm gonna sit here and drink beer. So, good luck.
Petrovsky left me with a bad taste in my mouth. Now, it's no shocker that Spartans go through a few augmentations and upgrades, but those are fully developed adults. Could a 17-year-old, probably still growing, even survive that kind of procedure?
My heart.
It seemed horribly risky. And what if what
heart.
Petrovsky was saying was true?
Everything
and
hurts.
John was only 13. Well, that was one hell of an accusation to make, the ethical implications of which were nauseating. I was still thinking about it the next day when Ellie Bloom's name popped up on my call list. I'd let her listen to a rough version of my first episode, and she had feedback for me. I didn't want to risk anyone listening in, so I let the call go, then hit her back on Chatternet.
Well, 2 things.
Okay.
2 major things.
Okay, yeah.
That boxing coach?
Dion Govender, yeah.
He's a liar.
Okay. How is he lying?
There wasn't any boxing at the high school.
How do you know for sure?
Because there wasn't any boxing on the entire planet.
She'd said they'd outlawed it forever ago, after a kid got injured. Afterwards, there was a long-standing controversy over how youth boxing was illegal, but no one seemed to care about all the grav ball concussions kids were getting.
Yeah.
Regardless, by the turn of the century, she tells me nobody really boxed in Eridanus 2 anymore. She even gut checks me, telling me to go ahead, ask anybody from the colony. They'd tell me the same thing.
And there sure as hell wasn't a league for kids to do it at the high school. That's like saying there was a gun range at the toy store. It just didn't happen. And the other thing, those kidnappings by rebels in Elysium also didn't happen.
Hold on. I know that's not true. You're wrong. Okay, the insurrection had a well-documented presence in Elysium.
Yeah, they did, politically. They worked to influence local policy. It got tense. There was occasional violence, but nobody was abducted. We lucked out. It was peaceful. That's why Elysium was refugee central. So boxing coach, total liar.
I needed to verify what she was saying, but I had the gnawing sense she was telling the truth again. What did this mean? If she was right and none of that happened, the whole story was wrong. And terrifyingly, that would mean someone had fabricated all of it. I needed explanations from my previous sources, and I needed them now. I tried to reach Dion, the boxing coach, no response. Gabriella Dvorak, the lieutenant who liberated John, in the field, unreachable. So I tried detainment survivor Thomas Wu. He answered.
Hello?
Hi, Thomas?
Who is this?
Yeah, I'm sorry to call so late. Is it late there? I just need to ask you something really quickly.
Okay.
I had no idea what I was gonna ask. Okay, do you know for absolute certain that Elysium suffered the same fate as your town?
Yeah, I told you that.
I know, but Thomas, I spoke to people who were in Elysium, and they said that wasn't true. Now look, I know you went through a lot, but I want to know the truth.
Okay.
Do you know for absolute certain that Elysium City was under the violent control of insurrectionists?
Look, what I told you before, that is the best I can remember.
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but I don't believe that. You remembered it all perfectly. You rattled off the name of every single safe haven city in that region, and you only hesitated once. I was completely making this part up. I was going for broke. You only
Ben.
hesitated when
Ben's
you
an
would have
asshole.
said Elysium City.
Ben, though.
I mean, look, I don't know for
Oh,
sure.
shit.
But Elysium wasn't captured by the insurrectionists, was it?
Hey, what are you, defending
No.
them?
I'm definitely not
You
defending.
know, after what they did, you're gonna defend them? They left us locked up for weeks. They let all those people just die. And they did that all over the outer colonies. I mean, what does it matter if it was Elysium or somewhere else after everything that they did?
Thomas, look, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I have to bring it up.
I just want peace of mind for my family. That's all I wanted. It's just...
Wait, I don't understand. How does lying about insurrectionists in Elysium buy you peace of mind for your family? At that
Yeah, I
moment,
don't know.
Thomas suddenly seemed to become entirely lucid, and his tone changed completely.
I shouldn't be talking to you.
Oh, wait, Thomas, hold on.
I can't. Leave us alone.
I suddenly became lucid myself, with a single awful realization.
This shit's fucked up.
That entire
Yeah,
conversation had just taken
this is
place
where
over
stuff
Waypoint.
starts getting real.
Anyone could have been listening.
Oh yeah, and Waypoint. Yeah.
Yeah, it just got real.
Join me for the next episode of Hunt the Truth.
I think I'm a little ahead of you.
Yeah, it's just ending.
Yeah, he just said join me in the next episode.
Yeah, mine's just ending.
Okay, I'm a little ahead of you, but that's okay.
Well, it's because I think we got... Yeah, this is where it starts getting real, like...
This is where the plot really starts, and it's a roller coaster from here. It's like a Michael Bay movie as far as, like, shit getting real. Oh, man.
But it doesn't have the explosions.
It doesn't have any explosions, really.
So it's not a Michael Bay film. This is false advertising!
I'm sorry!
I want my money
back!
back!
I take it back! Sorry. I didn't realize that Laura Bailey was in this, too. She's so freaking fantastic.
Who is not in this?
That's true.
Besides
That's true.
Pete Stacker, because apparently I can't have nice things.
You're my favorite.
Instead, I get one of my favorite Nickelodeon actors in this series.
You're a nerd.
Yeah,
It's really fun, like, actually go look up the voice actors. I tend to use Halopedia just because it's what I'm used to using. The format of it is what I'm used to seeing. They have really great resources on Waypoint now.
Yeah.
They've really fleshed out the encyclopedia. What?
I was just gonna say they're really focused on making all that information accessible to people.
Yeah, it's written really simply and concise manner, so I highly recommend if you want to get into Halo lore and explore things, go on the official Halo site and check out. There's a really cool encyclopedia and everything now. I will say it is spoilerific sometimes.
Very big.
It is massively spoilerific sometimes, so you have to be careful, but, you know, we can always vet articles for you.
Yeah, it's... They also like to release information they normally wouldn't
Yeah.
in their Waypoint articles, which is nice. But then you all of a sudden get, like, 3 birthdays for a character. And
Miranda.
none of them makes sense.
Literally, no one knows when Miranda's birthday is, because if you calculate it 9 months back or 9 months forward from some stuff in her journal,
From
it
Catherine's
doesn't
journal.
match up with another thing in the journal that has her age, and neither of those matches up with her birth date on Waypoint.
Yeah, on Waypoint.
Isn't that? Am I crazy?
Yeah, no, it's Waypoint, and then it
All
makes no sense for Catherine's appearance.
Yeah, her lack of pregnancy. I always wondered. I
We're
often
on a
wonder
tangent,
aloud,
but this is actually related.
Did that pregnancy thing come about later, or like what was up with that?
I think it had to have come up later. But
Yeah. But yeah, so she was conspicuously not pregnant during some stuff she should have been really pregnant
Oh,
during, like Fall of Reach. And what, Legends? The thing in Legends, the package?
Mm-mm.
No?
The package is fine. The package is
Is
like it's like 2 weeks before the first game.
Um,
Catherine gets randomly kidnapped. She had 2 blonde faces.
She did have 2 blonde faces and they both got her in trouble. Headcanon. Catherine never bleached her hair again.
We'll stop going on these tangents. This was actually related to Waypoint. It's not. They don't always vet their. 343 needs to get better about vetting their canon.
Birth dates.
That especially.
It's the birth dates that bug me. Like, everything else is really pretty good. There's just
Yeah.
some discrepancies on some of the birthdays. I would say, honestly, they have done a really nice job in a lot of aspects of going back to the original lore. Like, I feel like Hunt the Truth was really well researched. What was it I was talking about? Escalation is actually really well researched, I feel. Especially characterization wise.
That
Really,
Chief
really
Booty.
well done. And Dat Booty is well researched as well.
Old lore has bad
records.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, it's there's always, when you have an expanded universe that's handled by different writers, there's always going to be things that match and don't match. And like, I don't know, for me, based on volume of work, that's why I go back to the Nyland books.
Yeah.
As like, if I have questions about anything, I go to his stuff or Halsey's journal, which is also his stuff. Just because, wasn't he the original story writer?
He was yeah, he was. And then he left because he didn't like the direction they were going in, or something like that.
I don't know. I'm not gonna speculate.
He actually posted about why he left.
Oh, okay.
That's why
I
I'm
was
saying
like, I don't want to cause drama.
No,
But if it's written, then that's fine. Then.
I think it was. I shouldn't be doing this since we're sending it to certain people, but.
Oh, shut up! We're like conspicuously trying to avoid certain topics. There's a certain book that I will not mention at all during this this stream because it ticks me off with the characterization of one character.
That's okay. I've got a book similar. Oh, it's the Prometheans.
Oh god.
I actually have to pay attention.
Okay, I'll basically, like, we both have a book that we absolutely can't abide in a lot of ways because of some certain ways that certain issues are tackled. And it's one of these your mileage may vary kind of deals.
Yeah.
But our mileage is quite poor on these particular ones. And that's, you know what, I can't get mad because they're official. Like, I can't get mad. They're official, and you know, they're part of the record of Halo lore now. But some of it has been tempered, I think, especially by escalation.